All right, the shootout is next week. Are you ready?
No. We'll be on the pit side of the track at the quarter-mile mark. Look for the Tunes and Tunes banner. Come say hey, maybe check out some merch.
Speaking of merch, we'll have these 3 shirts with us there at the shootout. We've got the Raven shirt.
We'll have the Snoopy shirt.
And Vic the VR4.
We'll also have a very special limited edition Tunes and Tunes shootout shirt that you can only get if you come see us at the shootout. You can't get this online. These shirts you can get online, tunesandtunes.com, link in the description, but not this one. You have to come see us. This is a classic 2G Womping on an Evo at Norwalk. You can't miss this one. We don't have very many.
Camden, you want to try it on?
No.
Whether you're racing or spectating, the most important part is that you show up and have a great time.
Yeah, let's get racing. Well then, welcome back. If this is your first time here, don't watch this video. Watch this one. This one's done already. It's the end. Well, we got a special one for you. It's finished. The car's finished, but it's not quite pretty yet, okay? So, for that, we need to go see my buddy Jared over at Griffin Detail. Roll the tape.
Jared here, Griffin Detail. We are going to get this cleaned up. You can see it, well, we found out it looks like this car was painted, but it was never finished. So we're gonna wet sand it and polish it out and see what it looks like after we get done. So I'm pretty excited to see what we can get out of this thing.
We'll first need to start out with a good wash and clay mitt. Then we can move on to the real heavy lifting.
We just did a test spot here. This is a Duetto DA from Bigfoot. It's got a 12mm throw, so it doesn't throw very much and oscillate. It's meant for wet sanding. We're using a wet sanding disc as opposed to block sanding. I just feel like it's faster and I'm just more comfortable doing it rather than a lot of hand all day. Because especially when we're doing a whole car, you get worn out pretty fast. So we're gonna work in a grid fashion. We did some back and forth, up and down, and we wait and we're gonna look and make sure it's got a nice evenness to it, make sure it's not shinier or duller in anywhere. We're looking for like a chalkboard. So now we're gonna polish this out and see how we like it afterwards. We're looking for tracers. It looks like they've wet sanded this car before. You can see some tracers in the paint that they never polished out. So what we're gonna try to do is sand those out. This is 2000 grit. You can start with a lot lower, you can start with 1000. You can even polish out 1000 marks, but it takes a while. Now we're gonna try the DA. So I got a few different options. This is like a hybrid wool pad. This is like an older school wool pad meant for a DA still that you can use. And then we have the tried and true Meguiar's, the DMC5. This is like revolutionized everything years ago, and I still use them to this day. This is a great cutting pad, this microfiber. So we're gonna try one of these, see which one we like. Once we get a set that we like and we know that the finish is what we want, then we're just gonna replicate that over the entire car once we're happy with it. So if this polishes out and we're happy, we'll keep going, and if not, we can do some more sanding until we're happy with what we come up with. Got our little pen light from Roops. I love using this. It kind of simulates sunlight, and we can check out what the paint looks like before. Now we did heavily clay mitt this, so you can see all the swirls that we put most of those in. And there's also tracers that we're sanding out, which you can't see. I don't know if you can see on this. Like you can see them really good right here. You can see those, like really weird marks. But those are tracers from the sandpaper. They did a really rough sandpaper. So we're sanding out those marks with 2000. And we're getting it to this chalkboard. And then here's our first cut. So you can, or first, so you can see the fog. See the haze now?
Yeah.
You see the light bars coming off? Those are holograms. So we're gonna take the holograms out too. On a gloss black car like this, which is not metallic either, this is just straight gloss piano black. This is like the worst thing you wouldn't want to deal with, because it is the least forgiving.
Okay.
So we have to do all the tricks. So on this one, we will have at least 3 steps. So we're gonna do, well, 4. We're gonna wet sand, then we're gonna cut, we're gonna do a polishing step, and then we're gonna do a final, like, extra polish with like a, maybe like a hybrid glaze, maybe like a semi-permanent light glaze, or you can do like a really fine polish. Either way, I like to do a little bit of a glaze that's a semi-permanent with like a little bit of ceramic in it. That way it stays longer and it's more forgiving and easier to move around on the car. But you can see that even here you can see the haze here and how I did a little bit more. Remember, I just polished that last step.
Oh yeah.
And you see right there that line, or you see the haze here and not here, because I spent just a little bit more time and moved a little bit slower, and it finished down better than right here where I was moving a little bit faster.
I see.
And you see even the light bars are a little bit better. It's just that much cleaner. So that, it just depends on how much time you want to spend on it and how far do you want to take it. I think there's plenty of paint on the car. I didn't have a mic to mic it yet, but we could mic it. But since it's already been painted and they've wet sanded it, there's clearly enough clear coat on the car to do this, because it's been reshot. So we're taking a chance. They could have done a terrible job and they could have done no clear on it. That's really thin, but that's rare. So what we found so far in our test spot, there's been plenty. So we're just gonna go ahead and go for it.
So here we have the 4 stages.
So you can see we started off with the wet sand with the 2000. We've moved over to our cutting stage with our Meguiar's microfiber with some Sonax cutting compound, the Cut Max. Then we went to the 0406 from Sonax with the yellow pad, and then we finished out here with the white pad from White Roops pad with the CarPro Essence, which is a very light semi-permanent glaze, which is going to fill in the rest. And that really gets all those holograms out. You can see the light bars coming off, and as they get, there's a few light, and then boom, it's almost a perfect mirror. And that's what we're going for.
Yeah. All right, let's get to work.
We're doing pass 1 and 2 together. Wet sand, then cut it back.
Okay, so I had this made. This is a reproduction of the firewall VIN plate. I had them put Raven there at the bottom. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just an aluminum version of what came on the firewall right there. So we're gonna put this on. It's got some stickies on the back. There we go. That looks great. I like it a lot.
Next comes the polishing pass.
So we did, for our last step, we wanted to put something on this. We're gonna protect it and we're gonna polish it at one time. So with this being gloss black, we wanna do maybe kind of like a little bit of a glaze. We're gonna try out this ceramic all-in-one polish. It just came out recently from Sonax. It has a little bit of ceramic mixed in with it. So that way, you know, we can get it all done at one time, and we're gonna try it out, and it should protect the car and finish it out and gloss it so it's like just right.
That's nice. Alright, here it is. All done. Looks amazing. Just incredible. It's a different car.
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah.
Wow.
This looks so good.
I didn't even know my brain could have contemplated it was going to turn out like this.
No? Well, me either.
I had hoped that it could, but it's just really, really good. It's just
It really is.
nice.
Oh, and the emblems look great.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Yeah. All right. That'll do it for the detail. Very happy with it. It's awesome. Thanks, Jared.
Absolutely.
What a journey. Finally, this thing is done. And it's looking great and driving great too. Hopefully this series has inspired you to tackle your dream build and dig into the details. But I guess the only thing left for us now is to take this thing for a spin. Cooper, get the bags.
For professional use only. So if you're not
Oh.
professional when you're using this, don't use this. You need
Get
to
out of here.
remain professional.
Use Goo Gone like the rest of us.
That's right.